This is the basics in playing 8v8 in DSDR. There will be 4 frontline starting position and 4 backline starting position. If you start here, you should focus on attacking forward, capturing the mexes up front and pork. Usually, this position is played by a strong player, probably the highest TS in your team or a player who is very good in frontline. And this is the hardest position in this map. Another frontline position, and you need to fight for the middle mex. And if possible, help the hill in the north side depending on the situation. It has only 2 mexes and another 2 in the middle. If you lost the middle mex, you are left with your starting mex. There's also a very powerful GS spot for a Cerberus turret. This ramp is a double-edged sword. You can flank your enemies here, but they can also do the same. A commander can make mex from the bottom, but this is actually a respective mex for your adjacent top teammate. If you are going to take this mex, make sure you tell your allies first. This position is very open to flanks, raids, and bombing runs, so beware. This position has the least resources, limited space, and very slow progress if you don't fight for the hill. It is on a hill with a very easy defendable ramp. Few turrets are enough to cover the whole north side of the team. This is the best position for artillery stations, or LOL cannons. This position is very hard to reach for the opponents due to the terrain and ramp, making it a much safer place for frontline in mid-game to end-game. One strategy for taking this hill faster is when someone in the back starts air, and you need to coordinate with him. Ask him to give you a transport so your comm can pork on the hill in no time. But that's only possible if you communicate and him starting air factory first. This is the last frontline position, the safest frontline position. This is covered by steep cliff, making T2 turrets and artilleries very effective. The goal is securing this dried river crevasse something, or even pushing further into it. The more you push further, the harder it becomes, because it will be an uphill battle for you. Limited vision and pork on the enemy cliffs. This is a siege battle. These are the 4 frontline positions who needs to fight for the middle. Push through enemy defenses whenever possible, or if the push is countered and defended well, frontliners should solidify the defenses, tech up, and buy enough time for the backliners to enter the battle with a higher tech. Next position is the support for south frontline in the plains. You should be providing unit support, doing flanks and raids in the very open battlefield. He can also bring his commander up front and make defenses in the middle so that the whole line is covered. No enemy can pass through. It all depends on the player's preference, whether to build pork in the mid, attack and flank enemies, or provide artillery support. This position will do the same as this guy, providing support for the middle frontliner, fighting for the 2 mechs in the center. Either he provides artillery, defenses, or fast raid units, it all depends on the player's preference. Remember, this is the toughest position. He will need all the help you can give, so don't let him die in vain. And we come to the last 2 positions. There will be the tech and air position. The roles are interchangeable as this 2 position is safely defended by the hill frontliners and south. It is recommended to play 1 air and 1 full tech. One should go air, make enough fighters to protect the team before the infamous 8-minute bombing run. If one decided to go air factory at the start, it also unlocks the opportunity to make transport for this player to take the hill in the center very early. The goal is to protect the team from bombers, or make yourself your bomber to attack the enemy. 1 techer is enough for the whole team as recommended. He can always give or sell T2 constructors to the team, and if one player plays air, transports can be gifted to the techer, and a faster delivery of T2 constructors can be done via gifted air transport from the air player. Then a techer will continue to scale up his eco, and later in the mid-game comes with T1 spam, T2 units, experimentals, or nuke rush. All backliners will only have 3 mechs to begin with, except this one. And the techer is required to sacrifice his comm for more metal reclaim for faster T2 factory. Other backliners might sacrifice their comm as well, but again, they can always buy T2 constructors from their techer. This is the basics in playing 8v8 in this map. It can also be played with 7v7 and 6v6. The roles of techer and air player can be merged into 1 player, taking these 6 mexes at the back. Playing 6v6 is a little different, and will always depend on what your team decides. Either 1 player for both hill position and 1 player for techer and air, or 2 players on hill taking their back mexes. These 4 positions should always be played in a 6v6 or 7v7 match. The frontliners in the South Lane will always need help. They are very open and risky. I hope this guide will help you in your first 8v8 in DSDR. I'm not a pro, just a normal player, and some pros probably know me already. I always play in this toughest position because I think I have good enough pork and siege skills, which is very important as a frontline player. So what about you? Where do you always want to play in this map? Subscribe, like, and comment if you want to win your next 5 games, or else TA Rules will roast you in your next game.